You excited for this national championship game?
I am, and I already know you're gonna ask my prediction, and I think that anybody going against Indiana at this point is absolutely crazy. I know Miami had that, back and forth game with Ole Miss, but teams like Indiana, it really reminds me of a team that I played on in high school. A bunch of three-star athletes, not the greatest athletes, not the biggest athletes, not the tallest, strongest, fastest, but they play assignment football. Everybody's at where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, and doing what they're supposed to do. And I think when you have a team, they may not be as talented. Like I saw like this thing, like the average O lineman for Miami is like 330 pounds or something like that, and the average D lineman is like 360 or 260 for Indiana. But they probably been like that, over the last three games that they played, and they've absolutely dominated up front and everywhere, So I don't really think that's going to be too much of an issue, but everybody's going to do their job. And I think they're super excited because they haven't had success like this. And now that Mendoza kid is, playing lights out, dude.
Indiana had a couple of close games. They're so physical. When I watched them play, I just can't believe how they bully people. In the playoffs, they've done it to two very good teams. They've done it to Alabama and they've done it to Oregon, right? Oregon's a good team, and the game was pretty close in the season. And the progression, the where they are mentally, they feel just so strong. But anyway, I think Miami, they depend on kind of lightning strikes. And Indiana's been in close games where they had to come from behind. They've had their composure all year. And I feel like they're kind of peaking right now.
Man, Indiana just has that mindset, like you said, like they're way smaller than everybody they play, but they're still being more physical than, like Alabama. That was kind of like Alabama's like trademark, throughout the course of history is being more physical and being there at the end. And, Indiana kind of put them in their place.
Indiana is stronger in the second half. Like they always, I feel like what the film I've watched, they get stronger as the game goes on. What do you think score wise? How's it going to look? Do you have any thoughts on that?
That's tough because both teams have a really good defense. I just cannot bet against Indiana at this point. They've taken out some Titans. I think it's going to come down to penalties and field position. Indiana just doesn't budge on that. They're not going to give you anything. So I think Indiana wins a close game. I don't know. I'm going to say 38-31.
Man, I feel like it might be a little lower scoring than that. I think Miami's going to clog them up with their speed. I do think they're going to play the gaps and be safe and force Indiana to be patient, which Indiana's great at, but I think it's going to keep the score down a little bit. I don't think Miami can keep that composure the whole way through the game with Indiana's physicality. Well, man, thank you for joining us today, man.
Hey, my pleasure. Anytime.